So we have some Super Smash Bros. Speculation to go over today, but first off I want to talk about those Mario rumors that have been happening. The ones about a potential 3D Mario game collection or something, possibly remastered versions or re-released versions of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, possibly all together in one game. Over on the website GamesBeat, Jeff Grubb, who you may remember as correctly predicting our Nintendo Mini Direct we got a little while back, was talking about this rumor. The article says Nintendo is making 3D Mario remasters for its 35th anniversary. Exactly what these remasters might be like isn't totally clear, whether or not they're just re-releases, HD ports or something, or totally redone games, something like Super Mario All-Stars, or even if they're combined together into one game like Super Mario All-Stars, or if they'll be purchased separately, we're not sure, but this rumor has been backed up by a lot of people. We have seen some things backing up this 35th anniversary celebration, such as some t-shirts and things officially from Nintendo. However, the really interesting thing is that not only are there supposedly remasters of some of those classic 3D Mario games coming out, but also a Super Mario 3D World port to Nintendo Switch, and supposedly a new Paper Mario game returning back to its roots. And what did Nintendo just announce recently? A new Paper Mario game. So Paper Mario The Origami King for Nintendo Switch was announced recently, and this of course fits with this rumor. So could this actually be coming to fruition? I was already very much so on board with this 3D Mario remaster rumor and the Mario World 3D getting a Nintendo Switch port rumor, so having the Paper Mario part of this rumor come true just makes me all the more certain that this is most likely what we're going to get. So as for when we'll get these 3D Mario remasters announced, or when we'll get Super Mario 3D World on Switch announced, I don't know. My guess would be probably was supposed to happen at E3, but of course E3 isn't happening this year, so Nintendo's kind of going to announce things, as they see fit, so who knows when we'll get those shown off, but I do suspect they probably are real. This rumor is probably legitimate, especially after getting Paper Mario announced, and we know that one's legit. As for what other Nintendo games we could be seeing this year, here's something that was interesting that was written over on Reset Era. It says, how much of some are we talking? Is it just going to be the 3D Mario remasters, 3D World, and Pikmin for the remainder of the year? Or are there a few more things? Nate Drake wrote, more than those three, if no significant delays take place. Then someone wrote, so Wave Race and Mario Golf have a chance? Nate Drake wrote, those never had a chance. So we've had rumors for a while also about a Pikmin 3 Deluxe port to Switch, and it sounds like Nate Drake is saying that more than just Super Mario 3D World getting a port to Switch, Pikmin 3 getting a port to Switch, and these 3D Mario remasters, we should be seeing more games than that, as long as there aren't any significant delays. Of course, with the state of the world right now, there very well could be significant delays on games, so we'll have to wait and see what else Nintendo announces for this year. Speaking of Nintendo announcements, we did just get some more Nintendo Switch Online games announced, one of which is very interesting. That game is Panel de Pon. It's interesting because Panel de Pon was never released in the West. Instead, it was released as Tetris Attack, a Yoshi-themed puzzle game. Instead of its original concept, Panel de Pon involves the character Lip, who many Smash fans might recognize as she is a Mii costume. The lipstick item is from her game, and also one of Kirby's rock transformations is a garbage block from the Panel de Pon series. I've talked in the past about how strange it was that Arl's game Puyo Puyo 2 got released on the Nintendo Switch Online instead of the Western equivalent, Kirby's Avalanche, and getting Panel de Pon in the West is extremely similar to that. They're both puzzle games. They were both changed for a Western release using classic Nintendo characters, one using Kirby, the other one using Yoshi, so it's really interesting we're now getting Panel de Pon as well. Tetris Attack is one of my favorite puzzle games, so I'm really excited to be able to play the original Panel de Pon version on the Nintendo Switch Online. You may have also played the Panel de Pon series under other titles. It was also re-released as Pokemon Puzzle League. A lot of times they just reskin these puzzle games for whatever reason under known Nintendo characters. So yeah, there was a Pokemon version. I think there was one for Game Boy as well as one for N64. I had the N64 one. So you may have played the game there. But that's Panel de Pon. It's a really fun puzzle game. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest trying it. You know, I'm just realizing right now, looking at all this stuff, that they did something really strange. The cover art for Tetris Attack is just kind of puzzle themed, and it's called Tetris Attack. There's nothing on there that says it's going to be a Yoshi game, even though they felt the need to completely reskin the game Yoshi themed. So I don't understand, like if you were out at the store, you just see the box, you buy a Tetris game, if you got home and it looked like Panel de Pon, like what's the difference. You already bought it. They didn't push the Yoshi theme until you had the game. So that's really, really weird to me, just noticing this now, that they decided to switch the whole game to a Yoshi game, but didn't really push it at all. I guess they used the word Tetris there to get people to buy it. So yeah, it's a weird game in Nintendo history here. Alright, so let's talk Smash character speculation. We have some new stuff coming out in favor of Rayman possibly getting into Smash. I was talking a bit about Rayman in my last video about Smash speculation stuff, and there's some more things that have come out since then. Rayman's been a pretty popular character as far as Smash speculation goes. He had one of the best fake leaks ever done for him that was by Artsy Omni a while back. A lot of people were fooled by that one until Artsy Omni came out and, declared that it was fake. So Rayman's been a character people have wanted for a while. Alright, so last time I was talking about Rayman, I mentioned this post by Rayman for Smash. It says, y'all remember when Ubisoft bot called Sam, their version of Siri, would say it hoped for Rayman to show up in Smash DLC. Well, me and some folks on Discord were trying again, and now it says nothing about it. Looks like Ubisoft removed those too. So there is this bot you can message from Ubisoft, and when people were asking about Rayman and Smash before, it actually had a specific response for that, and now it doesn't. This was something they took down a little while back, and it's just a little suspicious they do that. And that wasn't the only thing involving Super Smash Bros. That Ubisoft changed. This person at Ray Sober over on Twitter wrote, apparently yesterday some people got this question. Do you bought a DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? And as far as I know, this particular question seems to have been removed from the survey now. Weird. The odd wording is because it was a French Ubisoft survey, but apparently that DLC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate question was taken down. Now this of course doesn't guarantee that we'll get a Ubisoft character as a DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as Ubisoft is already part of Super Smash Bros. DLC. They have some Mii costumes. They have an Altair and Rabbids Mii costume that you could download, so it still makes sense that they're invested in the DLC for Smash and asking that question. But what's really suspicious is that Ubisoft has changed both that survey's question and that bot's response to things about Super Smash Bros. So it's just a little weird that Ubisoft went out of their way to remove that stuff. And now we have, yet again, something strange going on in favor of a Rayman. This, once again, comes from the @Rayman4Smash Twitter account, and it says, according to T-Animal on Smashboards, the recent copyright revisal for Rayman indicates that a deal was struck between Ubisoft and a third-party company, a game company or merch company, for the Rayman IP. Similarly to Banjo, the last time this happened was around 2008 when we had Raving Rabbids merch and such. As we know so far, there isn't any Rayman merch coming anytime soon. This timeline is similar to what went down with Banjo, like described by T-Animal in his post. Take it with a grain of salt, though. The post in question reads, yes, it could be nothing, but to make a fair counterpoint, we have seen this exact same scenario play out with the Banjo-Kazooie trademark renewal at the exact same time that occurred with both Banjo-Kazooie trademark renewal in October-November 2018 versus the Rayman trademark renewal in October-November 2019, which both instances coincidentally are the same time Sakurai confirmed that the rosters were finalized by Nintendo in each case. It's a weird but factually accurate point to take into account. What's even more so is that the description of these trademarks, and then they leave the description, then followed up with another description, indicates that there has been a deal struck with the Rayman IP between Ubisoft with a third party, another gaming company and or merchandising company. It's the exact same with Banjo-Kazooie, as it had the same trademark description that was pended from November 2018 to approved on June 10th, 2019, a day before Banjo and Kazooie's reveal at Nintendo's E3 reveal. And then the other image is of the copyrights themselves. So essentially, the Rayman IP has had some sort of trademark negotiations between Ubisoft and some other third-party company. This is extremely similar to what was going on with Banjo-Kazooie before they got into Super Smash Bros. Of course, this could just be for merchandise. Maybe some new Rayman merchandise is happening. However, I will say, before Banjo-Kazooie got into Super Smash Bros., they actually had quite a bit of merchandise as well. So even if this was just about Rayman getting merchandise, it could be to push the character because potentially he's coming to Super Smash Bros. Like I mentioned before with those Mii costumes, Ubisoft is already a part of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, however they don't have a playable character. Rayman is a spirit in Smash, and although some people kind of think spirits might deconfirm characters, a lot of things going on right now seem to suggest that isn't going to be the case going forward. We know our next character is going to be from the ARMS game, and we already have 5 ARMS characters as spirits in Smash. If any of these 5 characters get chosen as the playable character, obviously that would be our first upgraded spirit to playable character we've seen so far, and there's a high possibility that might be what's happening. We've also seen recently that spirit battles can be altered in the game. Cuphead, when you fight him, if you do not download the Cuphead Mii costume, is just a Mega Man battle. However, if you have the Cuphead Mii costume, that battle is changed to a battle with Mii Gunner, which is using the Cuphead Mii costume. So the battles for spirits can actually be altered in the game. We've seen this already with Cuphead. Potentially, if Rayman got in the game as a playable character, his spirit battle, if you have that character downloaded, could be changed to battling Rayman. Also, when Byleth and Fire Emblem Three Houses were added into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they altered some of the already existing spirits to be specific about what series they're from. Hilda from Legend of Zelda now reads Hilda, The Legend of Zelda, instead of just Hilda, and Dimitri from Legend of Zelda now reads Dimitri, The Legend of Zelda, as Byleth brought with them some spirits that had those same names, Hilda and Dimitri. But now, throughout the game, Hilda and Dimitri are specified what series they're talking about. Dimitri from Fire Emblem, or Dimitri from Legend of Zelda, Hilda from Fire Emblem, Hilda from Legend of Zelda. Once again, showing that spirits can be altered in the game. So given how much we've already seen with the ability to alter spirits within Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and also given that our ARMS rep very well could be an upgraded spirit character already, I don't think Rayman being a spirit in the game counts him out at all. And I think he has a good amount of evidence going for him here. It's a highly likely possibility that Rayman could be part of our second Fighter's Pass. Nothing confirmed, of course, but I think Rayman's definitely in the running, probably one of the more likely candidates. Alright, so let's talk about another character I've seen a lot of people speculating about, and that character is Paper Mario. Now, this is sort of a knee-jerk reaction that happens with Smash fans every time Nintendo announces something new. We just had Paper Mario the Origami King announced, so of course, whenever anything new gets announced, it's like, hey, is that character coming to Smash? And I feel like this happens all the time. I'm guilty of it. I feel like just about everybody's guilty of it. However, I do think Paper Mario has always had a very good chance of getting into Smash, so just because the Origami King was announced, he's really more just on everyone's mind, but I think that he still has just as good of a chance as he always has, which has always been a pretty good chance. There's the possibility that Nintendo would want to announce him close to the release of Origami King, of course, to kind of promote the game or something like that, so that's really where any kind of legitimate speculation is coming from as far as Paper Mario getting into Smash soon here would be, but the character's always been fairly likely, so let's talk about him. First off, we've seen some of his new abilities in the Origami King, one of which looks a lot like something that might be out of ARMS. He can basically stretch his arms, so of course with the ARMS rep being our next Smash rep, people couldn't help but make that connection there and start thinking about Paper Mario in Smash. Whenever Paper Mario comes up in speculation, a lot of times people say, do we really need another Mario character? We already have Mario and Dr. Mario, so is a third one really necessary? Well, we also have 3 Links right now, and sort of 3 Samuses, mattering to what you think of Dark Samus, so having a third Mario could make sense. And honestly, if we were only to have Mario and one other Mario, I think Mario and Paper Mario would have made a lot more sense than Mario and Dr. Mario. But of course, Dr. Mario is sort of a legacy character at this point, being from all the way back in Melee, so yeah, I understand why he's there. And I could see having 3 Links, having 3 Samuses, having 3 Marios. It could definitely happen. I don't think being a Mario really stops Paper Mario from getting into Smash. He'd be extremely unique. Now, one thing that could happen with Paper Mario getting into Smash is that even though he'd have a very unique and interesting moveset, it's possible his moveset may derive more from the newer Paper Mario games than the older classic ones. And I know fans are pretty torn about that, no pun intended. So I don't know if fans would be totally happy with Paper Mario if he got in and, say, had a bunch of sticker moves and didn't make any references back to his original games, the like Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario 64. However, given Sakurai's ability to make really interesting movesets for characters and usually pulling from all over their history, I think Paper Mario would be done justice. Also, given the fact that Piranha Plant Side B is a reference to Paper Mario, I think Sakurai is at least pretty knowledgeable about the series and would do a Paper Mario character justice, probably pulling moves from all over the Paper Mario series. And there's lots of interesting things you could do with that. First off, a flat character, something like Game & Watch, is always really interesting. Paper Mario is kind of known for using the hammer attack, something Mario doesn't have that's pretty classic Mario. And of course, just different things you can do with the fact that he's paper, pulling in partners and companions and allies, you know, that sort of thing from Paper Mario. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do for a very interesting, unique character with Paper Mario. There is already a Paper Mario stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Not that we couldn't get another one, but that is one kind of hit against getting Paper Mario, because we're going to get a stage with these characters, and it seems like they want to bring in new worlds, and we do already have a Paper Mario stage. Now, Paper Mario is a big enough series that you could make a lot of stages for it. It doesn't have to just be one, but it's one small hit against Paper Mario. If we did get Paper Mario and Smash, that would be another first-party Nintendo characters. We've kind of had a string of them with Byleth and Arms Rep. If we got Paper Mario next, obviously that would be 3 first-party Nintendo characters in a row. A lot of times when Paper Mario comes up, people are surprised that I actually really like the character, because obviously my most wanted character is another character from the Mario RPG series, Geno. Over on Twitter, at Jolly128 wrote, "He returns," and showed that there was something in the new Paper Mario the Origami King trailer that sort of references back to Super Mario RPG. Now, I don't want to give too much of a history lesson here, but let's go back to the game that Geno's actually from, Super Mario RPG. So Super Mario RPG was a Super NES game developed by Nintendo and Square together. Nintendo made a sequel to Super Mario RPG, simply called Super Mario RPG 2. However, that title was later changed to Paper Mario. So the Paper Mario N64 game was initially supposed to be a direct sequel to Super Mario RPG. Later down the road, another Mario RPG game series came out, the Mario and Luigi games with Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Within Superstar Saga, there's actually a small cameo by Geno during this little minigame, linking the series back to the original Super Mario RPG. And then Paper Mario actually had a crossover with the Mario and Luigi games, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, although there's sort of 3 different Mario RPG series out there, the original Super Mario RPG, the Paper Mario series, and the Mario and Luigi series, they're all sort of connected. If you were to logically pick one character to represent all these Mario RPG games, Paper Mario would probably be it. As much as I am a Geno fan and really want Geno in Smash, I will admit Paper Mario actually makes more sense if you're trying to represent all these Mario RPG games. Paper Mario sort of links them all together. Now that said, of course, I'd still rather get Geno as a playable character, but check out this potential scenario. What if we got Paper Mario as the playable character and then Geno as one of those deluxe-style Mii costumes like Sans and Cuphead got? That would actually make kind of sense. You'd get Paper Mario representing the Mario RPG games, and then you'd also get Geno as sort of a playable character, as, again, a Mii costume, but one of those deluxe ones, and you'd really kind of represent that full gambit of Mario RPG games. While, of course, I really want Geno as the full-fledged playable character, I wouldn't be too mad at that outcome. It would make sense, and it would honestly represent the Mario RPG games really well to do Paper Mario as a playable character and still get Geno in there, but as an upgraded deluxe Mii costume. Of course, that might not be what we get. Sometimes Nintendo does listen to the fan demand, and while Paper Mario definitely has a lot of fans, I do think Geno as a Smash character has a bigger fan base trying to push for him to get into Smash. It's just a known thing that Geno has a very large fan base for Smash, despite being a one-off, kind of obscure character. If we look at what happened for the base game for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I think King K Rool is a good analogy here. King K Rool is a character that's from the Donkey Kong Country games, but hasn't been around for a while. He's also a character that you might not have even really known about until you got to the end of the Donkey Kong Country games. Conversely, we have the character of Dixie Kong. Dixie Kong shows up in Donkey Kong Country 2, and then kind of takes over as the main protagonist in Donkey Kong Country 3. She's also still in the games as a playable character, and probably much more well-known to more modern audiences. Of course, Smash fans really wanted King K Rool to get into Smash, and that's who we ended up getting. So I could see the same thing happening with Geno and Paper Mario. I could actually see Geno winning out, but it would be because of the Smash fan demand, not necessarily because he represents the Mario RPG games as well as Paper Mario. I think Dixie Kong would represent the Donkey Kong Country games a bit better, but we didn't get her. We got King K Rool because that's who the Smash fans wanted. Same thing could happen with Geno here. However, either scenario I'd actually be okay with. Again, I like Paper Mario. I'd be happy to get him as a playable character, and I do think Paper Mario with a Geno Deluxe Mii costume would make a lot of sense. I don't think Paper Mario works very well as a Mii costume, whereas Geno actually does. He would fit pretty well. You could actually make it look exactly like Geno and just do a deluxe costume, and it would work well. So I could see that scenario happening, but either way, I'd probably be pretty happy. I'm a fan of the Mario RPG games, whether they're Paper Mario, the original, or the Mario and Luigi games. So getting any one of these fighter passes focused on the Mario RPG games, I'd be pretty happy about. On this note of Paper Mario and Geno kind of being rivals vying for a space in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, this happens a lot with Geno, and honestly, I don't like to look at it as rivalries, because a lot of the characters Geno ends up being a rival to, I actually really like. It's sort of similar to like Banjo-Kazooie and Steve from Minecraft. There was like this whole rivalry going on before we got Banjo-Kazooie. I'd still like to see Steve from Minecraft get in Smash. I'm not against that character. Even though Geno's my favorite character and the one I really want to get in, I don't see like it being a negative if Paper Mario got in, even though they're both sort of vying for that Mario RPG spot. Geno seems to often have characters that this happens with. You could say Waluigi and Geno are both attempting to get in for another Mario spot. You could say Sora and Geno are both trying to get in for a Square spot. You could say someone like Rayman or Bandana Waddle Dee are, against Geno trying to get in as an upgraded Spirit spot. All sorts of things like that. I feel like Geno falls into so many categories that he's often at odds with another character. However, I like Waluigi, I like Sora, I like Bandana Waddle Dee and Rayman, I like Paper Mario. So I never really like to see these things as direct rivalries, as oftentimes I want both characters. And then just one final note about Geno. Jeff Grubb, once again, wrote this: Nintendo still doesn't add Super Mario RPG to Switch Online Super NES games. At Moose_ZL wrote, what's the deal? Square? And Jeff Grubb wrote, maybe, could just be holding it off for Mario's 35th anniversary. Now, I think Jeff is just speculating here, but it would be really cool if, say, Geno got into Smash and that was part of the Mario 35th anniversary celebration. Supposedly, they're doing a bunch of Mario games this year, so if we got Super Mario RPG on the Switch Online and they revealed Geno for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate all around this 35th anniversary celebration, that would be awesome. Again, that's pure speculation, but man, I'd be pretty psyched. So when will we get the next character revealed? Or when will we get our ARMS character revealed? We know that the ARMS character will be revealed to us in June, and we're slowly approaching June. However, E3 was supposed to happen in June, and it's always sort of assumed that we'll get Smash reveals during E3, so it's possible that Nintendo's plans have been altered slightly. I do, of course, still think that the ARMS rep will get announced in June, but probably not at some sort of big Nintendo Direct event or something like that. Most likely in sort of a Sakurai Presents smaller, specifically ARMS-focused video. That, of course, could also be when they reveal the next Smash character, but it may also just reveal the ARMS character. We'll have to wait and see. So without E3 this year, when exactly will we get this ARMS character revealed to us? Well, there's some pretty good guesses going out there. Over on Twitter, at RedFoxBoy wrote, I think we will get a fighter reveal / showcase for the ARMS rep on June 16th. This is because ARMS was released on that day. And that's true, ARMS came out on June 16th, so it could make sense to reveal the fighter then. However, historically, Smash hasn't usually coincided with anniversary dates for games. I actually think the only character we've ever had revealed on the anniversary date of their game was Little Mac. Also over on Twitter, at 2B for Smash wrote, the release date for the Isabel Amiibo reprint has been updated to June 12th on Best Buy. Could this be the same week the ARMS character is revealed for Smash? Amiibo releases usually coincide, right? That's been a somewhat consistent pattern for Super Smash Bros. DLC so far, that whenever something Amiibo happens, usually around that same time we either get a character revealed or some sort of showcase or possibly released. They do tend to coincide with each other. Regardless, I do think mid-June, either around the release of ARMS or around the time that they re-release that Isabel, reprint that Amiibo, could be around when we get the character revealed. I think mid-June sounds about right. Interesting note on the Isabel Amiibo, I did notice that that one probably got the lowest printing of any of the Smash Ultimate Amiibos so far. It was the one I had the hardest time trying to find. And I think that was probably because the original Animal Crossing Amiibos didn't sell that well. I know a lot of them ended up in like Five Below kind of dollar stores. I know that they were kind of shelf warmers, I guess is what they call them. They just sat on the shelf. Not many people bought them. But really interesting, ever since Animal Crossing New Horizon came out, we have this surge of people trying to buy the Animal Crossing trading cards. I have a pretty big collection of the Amiibo cards. They were kind of rare and hard to find, but I bought a bunch of them back when they first came out. And now they're going for a lot of money online, which is just really weird considering the other physical Animal Crossing Amiibos kind of became sort of worthless. Also, the really weird thing with the Animal Crossing cards is that the ones that are really expensive are the random common villagers, because people want specific villagers in their game, and you can use the Amiibo cards to do that. The actual holographic rare cards are for characters like Tom Nook and Isabel, and those cards are kind of useless because you can't use them to get a new villager in your town. So it's just really, really strange how Amiibos do that sometimes. They can be worth nothing, and then all of a sudden, I know some of these cards are going for $100 online. It's crazy. Just a couple final pieces of news to talk about here. On Mario Kart Tour, the Mario Kart phone game, they added Funky Kong and Dixie Kong, so that's pretty cool. Both those characters have been highly requested in Smash. A lot of people thought for a while either one of them was going to be an Echo character, either Dixie as an Echo of Diddy or Funky Kong as an Echo of DK, and we didn't get either of them, but them showing up in Mario Kart Tour is pretty cool. Glad to see those characters getting some attention from Nintendo. We also have a new Spirit event that's based on crowns, so we have all the characters who have crowns in Smash are part of the Spirit event. And then lastly, I just wanted to briefly mention that strange ending to the Origami King trailer that had Paper Mario with the papier-mâché Samus helmet on. There's also, you can see DK in that shot as well, but they really focused on the Samus hat, as that's what, Paper Mario was wearing, and it seemed like it was some sort of hint towards something Metroid happening. There's been some rumors of a potential 2D Metroid happening. Obviously, we have Metroid Prime 4, which we haven't seen anything for in a very long time, and there's been rumors of a Metroid Prime Trilogy collection coming to Switch at some point, most likely held back to more coincide with when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, or maybe slightly before it. So I do suspect that this was probably pointing to some new Metroid news happening soon, so hopefully we'll hear something. Alright guys, well that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I know I've been really slow getting content out lately, and hopefully that's going to change in the near future here. So if you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.